It was really obvious.
All right. But so anyway, I guess what the next character.
Well, I was going to talk about Jubilee.
Okay.
Right, because for me, I've always enjoyed the Jubilee character. And I always enjoyed it when they had the storyline with her and Wolverine kind of combined, where she was always falling, learning from Wolverine. And I was really excited to finally see Jubilee introduced in a film. So, I was looking for a lot more to happen with her. I mean, this is not our first time seeing Jubilee. She was in the first or second X-Men film, wasn't she? Very briefly.
Yeah, I guess briefly.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing happened with her. I mean, she was there.
I mean, like, you have like an ensemble cast and like.
But I want to see some sparks fly. I want to see some some Jubilee action.
Right. You didn't really see her get to use her powers, and in any way. Or like I mean they have shown like bits or pieces of like the New Mutants, whether it's Sunspot or Magma or some of the other characters.
I mean, they weren't in this film.
Well, not in this one, but in the other like X-Men films, they're shown in the background, and extras, but you never really get to see them do anything. Mm-hmm. So I mean, with her, it was like that, but at least she had lines. She had speaking.
She had lines, so I always felt like she was going to do something, but nothing ever happened with her. Maybe it's just all to set up for the next film, because you have her. They introduced Psylocke in it.
What you think of Psylocke?
I'm not an Olivia Munn fan. I think there are so many other actresses they could have chose to play her better.
Well, it's funny because it's like, I mean, to me, she looks like how, with her origin story, how she's supposed to look in the books. But that brings to another point when it comes to outfits and what I said before. Is the fact that, like, comic book fans want to see these characters look, in a realistic way, not, cheesy, like, wearing the outfits and stuff or close to the actual character design. So they definitely nailed it with that.
They did.
But on the other hand, there's been a little criticism about that, where, you had Storm, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, right? And you have Angel, and then Magneto is fashioned a new outfit or helmet, and so Apocalypse, has her walking around half
skimpy.
Yeah, and so, oh, you're fine. That's good.
This worked. I like what I see.
So I don't know. I guess it is kind of like a little off.
Well, think about it. What if they gave Apocalypse a big old A on his belt like this? That wouldn't have rocked really well. That'd be kind of. So you have your
Captain Africa.
Yeah, I guess we know who you are. You got that A, and when I think about it. I don't think
twice AA.
Yeah, but the A is not even a part of.
Well, it's a comic book design.
Yeah, it's like
so. I mean,
he didn't even speak English initially, so why would he use A of all things to express his name?
That's true.
Just saying. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, it's a comic book design.
Yeah,
Western point of view.
Yeah, so Jubilee, an introduction. I'm expecting more to happen in the next film. They spent too much time on her. Not to do something with her in the next film.
Oh, totally. Well, speaking of that, going back to the original book storyline of Age of Apocalypse, you have like, the character Sunfire here, and which I was always kind of disappointed that they didn't have more like, the Asian, we talk about this before, or other other genres of like the lack of Asian or diversity in
superheroes. Yeah.
So like they had Storm, who was brought in on the second run of the X-Men, along with Sunfire, then Thunderbird and Wolverine, and so uh, especially since in the Age of Apocalypse he does play like a role in that too, and there's still no inclusion of his character, which I kind of was like a little disappointed. But also, since from the last X-Men film of Days of Future Past,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see. I was expecting to see Bishop.
Really? In this film?
Yeah,
But it
'cause,
really deal with time. Like he's like way in the future, so I
yeah.
was expecting to see him in this one.
Uh,
Like, why did you think you? Why did you expect to see him?
because I'm familiar with the storyline of the
Mm-hmm.
books where he does play an integral role, and it still does deal with that issue of time travel and the past affecting the future. So I was expecting to see Blink come back, Bishop, along with the other characters that they reintroduced in this one. So the fact that I didn't see them, I was kind of like, oh, I mean, if you're a movie fan and you're just familiar with the cinematic universe, it's fine. But if you're like, into the books and the storylines, of course, they can't follow it.
Verbatim, they can't.
Yeah, they can't. So, I mean, I like the restructuring of the storyline um, with Charles Xavier, because in the original storyline he's dead, and so the showdown was primarily between Magneto and Apocalypse. So
Well, I thought that this film is just a setup film for the next one. Right?
well, I mean,
You got the. I mean, I assume there's more to this.
Well,
I've
yeah.
never read the comics for the storyline, but they were introducing a lot of characters, giving a lot of origin stories in it, and so that's why I felt that way. It's like, okay, here are some extra some characters we're adding into our next few films. So let me introduce them, get them out the way. Let me show Psylocke and have her leave menacing, from the scene at the end of the film. Like, all right, she's coming back again.
yeah,
right?
maybe they give her her own film. I don't know.
No, don't do that. She's gonna pop up again, though. Trust me.
Yeah.
She will be in the next film or two.
And so I guess that goes to like what the next character would be Quicksilver, or
He definitely
or
did.
in this movie Magneto's son. Yeah.
Well, he is Magneto's son.
Well, yeah, but because the licensing problems between Marvel Studios and 20th Century Fox. I mean, in a way, it's kind of going back to that. Let's talk about Magneto's children.
Okay.
So, like, at least in the Age of Ultron, you do have them as the twins, and they have their powers, even though there's no real connection with the mutant universe.
Yeah, no connection to X-Men at all.
Yeah, because of licensing
Mhm.
rights between the two movie studios. So they basically using the Inhumans and the Agents of Shield to like
play that role. Yeah.
So, but going back to the X-Men movie, I like how they in the movie they just introduced the son from the last one, and so it's like, well, he's supposed to have like a daughter too. So
Yeah.
I kind of like how he did it, where he's like this Rolling Stone type of dad. He just like
Slept
lazy-
around here and there.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
So I mean, he did have a daughter, and she did have powers. But I thought it was kind of ironic because in the Marvel Studios version of Quicksilver, he dies. Then in the 20th Century Fox movie version, she dies.
I didn't put two and two
So it's
together.
kinda
I was
like
really
a-
because you're right. There was a
it's a-
boy and there was a girl.
Right, it's a
and that's when
tit for tat type
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
I think.
Okay. Now, which Quicksilver did you like more?
Which one I like more? I do like both, but as far as the filming sequences, I mean, I think the public generally likes Bryan Singer's adaptation of Quicksilver, with the
Yeah.
way he films him, in the sense that he brings more of a comedic role. It's
Yeah.
almost like a Wally West Flash type version.
Well, they had to, lighten the mood of the film,
Yeah.
and actor was fantastic. And in terms of the one from Age of Ultron, I felt that it wasn't short lived,
Mhm.
and I mean, you really didn't get to enjoy his ability as much as you would like, right? And that's
Right.
when they take you into it. They slow down time for you. They
Yeah,
play
the
on his
little
speed.
musical montage.
Exactly. So I think of actors in a film, like I'm watching this film, I'm thinking about the actors a lot of the time and how they depict the characters. And I thought that honestly, he's probably one of the standouts of the film, right? Him. So I thought he did a really good job. I mean, I'm impressed. I don't know what it's about the Marvel storylines, but they just do good films with him.
Yeah, I think everybody's impressed by that.
Yeah. So overall, what would we say? I say definitely, if you haven't seen it already, you should see the film. I think it'll surprise you because it surprised me. I didn't expect it to be that good as it was. I just thought it will be. Oh, I didn't even actually want to see it, right? But I saw it anyways, and I was thoroughly impressed. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the characters, what the actors brought to the roles,
Exactly,
and especially since we have a prior experience with other actors playing these roles, and seeing with the new recasting with these actors bringing their own unique essence to the roles, and actually in some ways made it even better than like the first appearances of these characters, especially with the Storm. But yeah, I mean the story. I mean, even though it's not, I mean, none of the stuff is canon really.
No, but still.
But the story was tight.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's just like it brought a lot of stuff together where like from the other films, and hopefully with the last Wolverine film they'll do a killer job, especially after the success of Deadpool.
Yeah.
We'll see like a real Wolverine movie.
That'd be awesome. But guys, that's it for us now.
All right.
And we'll tell you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, later.